Hello my dears, from my mother's house in Câmpul Mușcel, Romania. I came here just for a few days to spend some time together with my mother before the Easter time. Tomorrow I will be flying back to Austria, so I will do the most out of today. It's very beautiful outside, sunny. She's waiting me with breakfast inside the kitchen, so I will make this introduction very short. In a couple of hours I will be going to visit a domain. It has fascinating stories. It used to belong to one of the most important families in Romania. The main mansion was built in 1858. I'm so much looking forward to visit it because I've read many stories, many articles, I've seen photographs. It is a museum, considered a niche museum because it presents mostly the family history and a specific time in history. It's going to be a 45-minute drive from here towards Bucharest. The area is not as picturesque as Ruker. Maybe you've seen the previous episode. Ruker is located very close to the mountains and forests. The area that I will be visiting today is more flat, but it's very beautiful as well. It's different. You will be seeing it. I'm wearing with so much pleasure two accessories from Marel. Maybe you've seen the episode with Anastasia and her little accessories and jewelry business. She gifted me this ring, and here I'm wearing Volia. Volia is the Ukrainian peace symbol, and I'm wearing a pair of earrings that I bought from a charming shop in Bucharest. I'm wearing black because I don't have too many clothes with me, and everything that I was wearing until now is washed here, but it's okay. It's okay, I feel good. I'm now going inside the house. My mother is waiting me. We will see each other in a few seconds, in real time, in about 1 hour. It's always there. I arrived here about 15 minutes ago. I've decided to eat something before visiting around because I didn't have breakfast. My mother prepared it to take it away, and the group is already in the museum. The staff is very friendly. I've seen a poster that the museum was opened only 2.5 years ago. I'm very excited to enter. One of the employees told me that I can enter whenever I wish. The door is locked, but he will be notified by the guard. So I will go now to the guard, tell him, and he will let the employee know. He will come downstairs, open the door, and I will join the group. This little gentleman was begging to get some of my sandwich, and I'll have to say that my sandwich was delicious because I baked the bread. I like to bake bread, and he had some, and now he's very satisfied. You see, he's licking the floor. Some of the sandwich is still there. Happy boy. Happy boy. Yeah. I'm on the highest floor, so I'm on the upper floor of the museum. I was given a guided tour throughout all the rooms, and I am allowed to film. I'm going to tell you as much as I understood. Everyone is so welcoming here. I'm simply in awe from the first moment as we entered on the domain. We were welcomed by the staff. They are very friendly. I have the possibility to film, to photograph. Yeah, everything is wonderful. The energy is so nice. There are not many visitors, maybe because it's out of the season. In the summer there will be more people, and I wish to start from here, from this little terrace. It's very charming. Each room is amazing. It's fascinating. It's absolutely superb. They carry out also stories, sad stories, happy stories, informative, interesting stories. Here, for example, this terrace is an extension of the room that you will see. In the room is a study room. In the room there were stored many books that they were. It's very hard to talk in past tense. The books were organized on different categories, and you can see also some signs of those categories because they were carved in the wood. For example, I'm going to show you. Let's go inside. For example, one of the categories was music, mathematics, I would say geography, history, arts. Here is a beautiful office belonging to Ion Brătianu. Ion Brătianu built the mansion in 1858. His sons lived here, his daughters. He had 8 children. The 8 children were born within 10 years. Unfortunately, their first daughter died with 3 years old. Her name was Florica, and this mansion, the villa, was named after her, Villa Florica. 7 children were living here. They had an au pair from Switzerland. Major changes happened during the communist regime. I don't want to sadden you. I'm not going to talk much about the communist regime. I would like to talk about their happy life before that. Happy stories. I think that's more important to remember how they developed here, because they became the most important political family in Romania in the 19th century. One of Ion Brătianu's sons, so the family gave 3 prime ministers, and one of the sons took part in the peace treaty in Versailles in 1919. There is a lot to say. Of course, I will come back here, but let's explore the space together. The beams are impressive. The floors, some are original, those not. They were put in place during the communist regime. They transformed it into a protocol villa. Everything was confiscated. The rooms were modified, and out of 40 rooms, as much as I understood, 26 little apartments were built. The family, especially the father, starting with the father, put a lot of emphasis on studying. They were involved in the political scene. They were not paid for their political work. They were highly educated, highly intelligent, and the father said to his sons and daughters, first of all, you have to have a profession, you have to study, and then we can make politics. And they played an essential role in the formation of modern Romania. As I said, here was one of the study rooms. There are a few more that I will be showing you. I will close now the balcony door. I want to take care of the space. So it's a bit windy, and I don't want the door to slam. Let's continue. We were given protection slippers for the shoes. The floors are amazing. I can smell the wood here. The carpets are very beautiful. Some of the carpets were offered for a limited time, but they were offered by Palace Castle. also some furniture pieces, because most of the furniture pieces were destroyed in the communist regime, but we can get a sense of how the mansion used to look before. The land around the park around is gorgeous, especially now in springtime when everything starts to bloom. We are on the second floor. It's the last floor of the mansion, and we will go now downstairs to show you the next level. We are now in the main library. Wow, it is absolutely astonishing because I've never seen such a library before. It is a suspended one, so here, up here, the books were stored. On the ceiling there is an opening where the natural light was falling through here on the table. I'm going to show you a photograph with the original library, the original table. This is not the original one, also the floor not, but you can get a sense of how it used to be. As I said, the father placed a lot of emphasis on studying, and out of the library there were 7 doors leading to his children's rooms. Now it's modified again by the communist regime. The children were also studying here on this table, so it was either the father taking a book or two out of the library, reading it here, studying it here, or the children doing homework. Here the father was signing different documents. He wanted or loved to be able to sign while standing. And we have some prints from original letters written by King Carol. I'm going to show you a little bit from the children's rooms. I told you most of the furniture was destroyed, and the saddest thing about this place here, the library, is that the books, almost 30,000 books, consisted of his value. I would say almost 30,000 books were destroyed right in front of the mansion by the communists. Some were taken with the horses in carriages and thrown into the river. Others were simply burned. Old books, one of the most important libraries in Romania, and it's very, very sad to hear those stories. Now what we see here were donated, were given by Palace Castle for a limited amount of time, that we can get a little bit a sense of how it used to be. The smell of the wood is absolutely amazing. It's impressive, it's emotional. I love wood, and this honey color simply warms your heart. So yeah, let's have a look in this room, for example. It has big windows overlooking the park. The marble head is part of a bust, of a sculpted bust, that was taken away from the villa and thrown over the balcony. It got buried in the earth, and just recently it was discovered in the garden. Not the part, not the extension, but yeah, that's the remaining of the bust, and you can notice it in the original form here. That's a photograph of the library, how it used to be. You can see the table in the middle. They had installed an electrical system, and hanging from above they had a lamp. Again, I told you that the ceiling has an opening for natural light, and as you see, the light was falling through the middle of the space. The corners were darker. Here in this portrait is King Carol I, and here is his wife Elisabetta. This is a bust, a bronze bust representing Ion Brătianu, the father. Now going here in the next room, we have this little space where we can see different diplomas. I'm going to go over them again because this won't be my first visit here, definitely not. But I would like to show you some portraits of some of the sons of Ion Brătianu. For example, Constantin or Dinu Brătianu was born on the 13th of January 1866 here, and he was the second son. You can see him here later in life, and also here in 1937. He was the last son living here on this domain, and in 1950, at the age of 84, he was taken out by force, out of the villa, out of his home. He was taken out by the communists, beaten, brutally beaten, taken away very, very far, hundreds of kilometers away from here. And when they arrived on the destination, he was so badly beaten, in such a bad state, he could barely walk. And those that did that to him, for example, just that we make a comparison, here he was in 1937, 13 years before what happened to him when he was killed, because he could only survive 3 days after he was after he arrived at the destination. He could barely walk, and those that beat him said, spoke to themselves, should we take him to a room, should we take him to prison, or should we take him to the grave? Gheorghe Brătianu, born in 1898, had almost the same fate. He lived a little bit longer in prison. I'm not going to get now into details. They were highly educated. They've studied a lot. They had their doctorates. For example, Gheorghe Brătianu, brutally beaten. He survived 3 years in prison and died in 1953. There was a fury, an immense amount of hate towards nobility, towards the boyars, towards the intellectuals by the Communist Party, and unfortunately they were not spared. I'm now on the main terrace of the villa, of the mansion, of the manor house. The views are spectacular over Pitești, the city. Back then it used to be a village, I would say a village, a lot of beautiful nature. You could see the river, the main river, trees, hills, vineyards. The terrace initially was opened, and one of the sons did some changes, beautifully done, very harmonious, and he decided to close the terrace partially, meaning above. And here, for example, you can see a traditional oven. The most amazing amazing thing about this oven is that here in the niche you could put a mattress of hay and have a rest as a child, or sometimes cats were coming here to have a rest. They loved to serve lunch or simply to do different crafts. On the other side of the terrace, I'm going to take you there. They used to sunbath, so it's still uncovered. A little bit later in the year, the nature would explode of scents and flowers, beauty. Now it is a little bit too early for it. It's not warm enough, and next week I've heard that it's going to rain. But I would say that here is this wonderful. It is a corner of paradise every day, every minute. I can imagine the family, the friends enjoying the open space. The rooms are so welcoming as well. It's hard to decide where it's more calmer and relaxing and beautiful to be in. Everything is thought through. This massive lock is 200 years old and still functional. It's absolutely incredible. They only have to add some oil from time to time, and it works impeccably. In Romanian language, conac means boyar's house, and this is how Florica, boyar's house, used to look in 1891. And here in 1920, so almost 30 years later, you see many windows. And the son of Brătianu made some adjustments, some additions, I would say very tasteful and thoughtful. He added the upper floor, and he reduced the number of the windows because they began having electricity inside. And yeah, here we have a good comparison. In the salon, the family was receiving guests. To my left there are big windows. They didn't have electricity when the mansion was built in 1858, so everything was lightened up with natural light. And to my right there is the library, so more books to be stored here. Again, the communist regime members were destroying the interiors, stealing the wood, stealing the furniture, the mobiliar. Luckily, gladly, they couldn't steal this part. The whole right side consists of those cabinets, those inbuilt cabinets, all wood and crystal glass. The books that you see here are giving the flavor, a nice impression of the room. They were offered by different museums, so they are not the original books. I told you that the family had a collection of 30,000 volumes, old volumes, rare books. And here it continues. You'll see an oven, and the furniture comes as closest as possible to the original one. It was offered by Peleș Castle, given for a limited amount of time. As well, the carpets. I love carpets, and they're very beautiful. The ceiling, wow, those are wooden boxes, and it gives such a warmth and coziness to the space. There are some photographs where you can see more of the interior. I will try to get some photos in a better resolution, in a better light, that I can show them to you here. Our guide was so nice and absolutely generous, and he said that he's going to send me some photographs from here. This table is massive. It's from Persia and it's 500 years old. Here there is a map of Southeast Europe before and after the Russian-Turkish War from 1877 and 1878. You can see Serbia, a part of Romania, Bulgaria, and here there are two paintings, two original paintings of Carol I in Bulgaria during the Independence War from 1877. It is a painting in aquarelle by Carol Pope of Satmary from 1880. An impressive, decisive moment. Here Carol I is meeting the great Duke Nicolae on the Danube, so on the shore of Danube. Such a beautiful painting, again, is by Carol Pope of Satmary, 1877, in aquarelle. This little charming room was the bedroom of the grandfather, is written, of Ion Brătianu. He was sleeping alone, but next to his room was the bedroom of his wife, so she was sleeping here. Of course, the space was modified, but you can make an impression. This is an original oven. Here there is a portrait of Ion Brătianu. I like his energy, his calming and wise look. Many big windows throughout the property. Natural light is flooding the space, and again a lot of wood. All floors are made out of wood and most of the ceilings. This little salon is the Turkish salon where they used to drink the coffee. There is a tea salon. I'm going to show it to you next time because very soon I will have to go to Pitești to catch my train. But I want to show you this beautiful Turkish salon, and next to it, it is my personal highlight because in this space, which was initially on the upper floor, is the craft salon, more precisely the textiles salon, the crafts. The second wife of Ion Brătianu loved, I would say, in a modern term today, fashion, loved the tradition, loved all the traditions, the local traditions, the art, the crafts. She came from a big noble family. She moves here, and she loved to create different objects, different garments, and we can take some glimpses of what she was doing. Queen Mary of Romania was dressing her creations, traditional creations. Here on this table are shown different stitches. It is absolutely impressive, and I would so much like to return here to have a closer look. The costumes exhibited here, I would say they are from Argeș. I will get a closer look to learn more about it. Yeah, I would say that's it for now because I will have to get to Bucharest. I'm concluding the tour here. We will see each other outside. I wish to say goodbye from our host. He was so nice, so friendly, and again I'm absolutely grateful that I could film and give you some impressions from here.
Highway 17 and in the city 800.